Raleigh is the 10th fastest growing city in the US and the 3rd fastest growing for new construction, with major cities like New York, Washington, D.C., and San Francisco losing population to come live here instead. But where is it actually worth it to live in Raleigh? I wanted to share the 6 booming towns in the Raleigh area that you'll want to get into before they skyrocket in value. These are areas where home prices are not too crazy yet, but are expected to thrive in the coming decade. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which markets to target and why 2025 is your golden window to get in before everyone else catches on. The first Raleigh suburb stands out from every other town because what's changing here is shocking. Clayton, North Carolina is experiencing a 6.8% annual population growth, bringing their 2025 population to over 50,000 residents. But the growth numbers don't tell you the full picture. You have to look at what's driving that growth that makes this market so attractive. Okay, so Clayton is a growing suburb, but to me it feels more like a small town atmosphere where everyone is really friendly and housing is still super affordable. Interestingly enough, it sits right at the heart of what's called the biopharma crescent. They're hosting world-class life sciences firms like Grifols and giant Novo Nordisk. When you have big pharma companies choosing your town as their hub, that tells you great things about the economic foundation here. Speaking of which, in a minute I'll mention another mega corporation that's also driving growth. But first, here's a fantastic number for you. The median home value in Clayton is currently around $370,000. And this is what gets me excited about this number. While we're seeing a slight 1.2% year-over-year decrease, this represents market stabilization after massive appreciation. For buyers, this is your window to get in before the next wave hits. Let me tell you guys about Flowers Plantation, which is the crown jewel community of Clayton. We're talking about a master planned community that perfectly captures what modern families are looking for today. You'll get plenty of different homes to choose from, plus amenities like over 20 miles of walking trails, a fitness center, a golf course, and more. The connectivity here is incredible with US Highway 70 and US Highway 70 bypass that's becoming future Interstate 42 and NC 42, providing direct access to I-40 and I-95. When the NC 540 Triangle Expressway is completed, you're looking at enhanced connectivity to RDU International Airport in around 40 minutes. This will also dramatically improve regional connectivity linking Clayton, Garner, Fuquay, Holly Springs, Apex, Cary, and Raleigh. Spoiler alert, we're about to cover some of those areas real soon. And don't get me started on the proximity to the beach at just under 2 hours. Perfect distance for a day trip. The town already has extensive greenways connecting downtown to neighborhoods, and it creates an amazing network of trails and outdoor spaces. Speaking of amenities, the Clayton Community Center is 32,000 square feet facility featuring a huge indoor track, full fitness center, art and pottery classrooms, and a complete gymnasium. And Clayton Community Park includes 8 pickleball courts, 4 tennis courts, bocce ball courts, and shuffleboard courts, plus miles of paved greenways and a comprehensive dog park at East Clayton Park. But Clayton's comprehensive growth plan targets doubling its population over the next 30 years. What that means for property owners is a sustained demand, continued infrastructure investment, and a long-term appreciation potential. Now, I'll show you an even more impressive development. It's also related to huge corporations. This next Raleigh suburb is experiencing unprecedented growth in the Research Triangle. Garner, North Carolina is showing a 10.4% population growth, making it the fastest growing of all these booming towns that I'm mentioning today. Surprisingly, Garner is often overlooked when people are considering the move to the area. They're up to 39,000 residents in 2025, but here's what's driving this incredible growth. Amazon opened up a major distribution center here in 2020, and that single development has fueled more than 10% population spike in 2024 alone. Absolutely impressive. The median home value in Garner is around $390,000, down 1.9% year over year, which again represents that same market stabilization. What this means is you're getting the benefit of all that Amazon-driven job growth and population increase has to offer, but you're buying at stabilized prices instead of peak pricing. But wait, there's more. What gets me super excited about Garner is the downtown revitalization that's happening right now. Mixed-use developments in the Cary Road Public Safety Station opened in June of 2024. Also, Phase 1 of Jurgen Park groundbreaking is happening in 2025 with athletic fields, playgrounds, and extensive trail systems. The award-winning 40,000 square foot recreation center is downtown Garner, and that is incredible too. It has 3 high school-sized gymnasiums, an art studio, a fitness room, and an elevated indoor track. Then, Garner Recreational Park has 20 acres with lush trails, playgrounds, and sports facilities, plus multiple picnic shelters, ball fields, and walking trails. In fact, park excellence is something we'll see again on our list. The location advantages here are simply unbeatable. Garner maintains exceptional proximity to Raleigh with an 8-minute drive via Highway 70, which connects directly to I-40. If you're using public transit, the Go Raleigh bus service provides hourly connections to downtown Raleigh in 18 minutes. You're 15 minutes from NC State University and 25 minutes from RDU Airport, though you'll want to plan for rush hour traffic. So overall, let me paint you a picture of what this Amazon effect means for the long term. Major employers bring sustained population growth, increased consumer spending, and infrastructure improvements. These benefit everyone in the community. Okay, moving on, let's check out other areas that are absolutely booming this year. The next one isn't obvious, and it might surprise you. The next Raleigh suburb is unique with many good reasons why people choose to live here. Fuquay Varina has shown around 6.6% growth in the last few years. It now has nearly 50,000 residents. The highlight here, though, is actually the strategic approach they're taking, and I'll show you why. This town has earned a AAA bond rating from both Standard & Poor's and Moody's. It also maintains a proactive commercial recruitment strategy. When a municipality achieves a AAA rating, that tells you they're managing their finances exceptionally well. This translates to stable property taxes and continued investment in amenities for the whole community. Current median home prices in Fuquay Varina are around $453,000, down 1% year over year. And this makes Fuquay Varina a premium choice among these booming markets while still keeping that market stabilization advantage. We'll see that again when we get to Holly Springs in a bit. The residential pipeline here shows hundreds of single-family and mixed-use units in development, but they're balancing that growth with historic downtown preservation, new cultural venues, and greenway expansions. Growing isn't the full picture. You have to look at creating quality spaces where people want to live. The town also has a remarkable position. NC Highways 42, 55, and US Highway 401 all converge in town, and RDU Airport is around 26 minutes away. But we're seeing growth in transportation too. The southeast extension of I-540 I mentioned earlier has just completed construction, and it completes the Triangle Expressway loop. But what about the lifestyle here? For recreation, Fuquay Varina has 2 major community centers. The state-of-the-art Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center has many facilities, including basketball courts, exercise rooms, an indoor track, and racquetball courts. Then, Fleming Loop Park gives you 7 multi-purpose fields, concession facilities, and walking tracks with 0.47 mile and 0.51 mile loops. Fuquay also has a ton of fun things going on in their downtown areas like Aviator Brewing, it's a tap house, pizza shop, and rooftop bar, as well as my favorite bakery by a long shot, Stick Boy Bread Company, and many more. Fuquay always seems to have community gatherings, events, and happenings going on all the time, and it's generally a really easy place to meet people if you plug yourself in. What makes Fuquay Varina unique is its approach to quality of place. It's frequently described as one of the best places to live in NC, with top-rated schools and a focus on growth. But they're growing thoughtfully, and that strategic approach creates long-term value for property owners. The next town in Raleigh is a hidden gem. Wendell is seeing a serious expansion. It saw 9.3% growth with around 17,000 residents. It actually represents one of the most interesting opportunities in the Triangle right now. The median home value in Wendell is around $344,000, though we're seeing some interesting market dynamics. Bankrate reports a 13.4% decrease at the beginning of 2025, which creates a strategic buying chance for those who understand what's happening here. So despite this recent median price softening, buyer activity remains incredibly strong here. We saw 80 closed sales in June of 2025 alone, with homes averaging 16 days on market. When you have that kind of market velocity combined with lower entry prices, smart investors take notice. Wendell is located 17.6 miles from Raleigh with a 24-minute drive time. Public transit Transit options are limited and require transfers through Go Raleigh stations, also making car ownership essential. But that's part of what keeps Wendell affordable and appealing to families wanting space and value. And here's one of the highlights of the area. The master planned community of Wendell Falls has saltwater pools, fitness centers, extensive trails, and a super cute cafe on site. These are amenities specifically designed for modern homebuyers, so it's amazing to have choices like these. The town's 2025 budget allocates significant funds for transportation improvements and parks bond projects, showing its commitment to infrastructure that supports continued growth. You could say that investing in transportation and recreation while experiencing population growth is basically a formula for sustained property value appreciation. Our next spots also share this same formula, but with different vibes altogether. What you'll find here is a combination of affordability and potential. You're getting in at a lower price point while the town is improving infrastructure and amenities. That's the kind of timing that creates wealth for property owners, and honestly, it's a quiet, growing suburb that I think is just beginning to boom. And our next area couldn't be more different than this one. Why? Come with me to Holly Springs, North Carolina, and I'll show you why. This next Raleigh suburb is one of my favorites and our clients love it, but it's at a more premium price than the others. Holly Springs, North Carolina is on the premium end of these booming areas, and the numbers here tell an incredible story. Holly Springs has 47,000 residents with 6% growth over the past decade, and they've earned some remarkable recognition. For instance, this town was named the 5th best place to raise a family. When you're looking at family-oriented real estate investments, rankings like this one matter a lot. The median home value here ranges from about $475,000 to $520,000. Even with the higher pricing, properties sell quickly, averaging around 30 days on market. The town we're seeing next has lower prices, so stick around for that. But here's what justifies those price tags. First, Holly Springs has cultural and sports facilities that you don't find in typical suburban markets. Ting Stadium hosts collegiate baseball with an 1,800-seat multi-sport venue featuring synthetic turf. The Cultural Center provides year-round performances, creating a really cool vibe. Then the W.E. Hunt Recreation Center includes a 3,000 square foot fitness center, indoor walking track, gymnasium, and group exercise rooms. Bass Lake Park has boat rentals, fishing access, and extensive trail systems. We're talking about 6 parks total, a nature center, athletic fields, and over 15 miles of trails. My husband and I lived here for 5 years and we absolutely loved it. It has an incredible community feel, the greenways that brought us to Bass Lake Park trails with our dog, the new shopping centers that had everything we needed, and the incredible community of people we met and still stay in touch with often. Now, if you commute, you should know that traffic challenges on Highway 55 are cited by residents as a concern, with commute times quadrupling during peak hours. However, multiple highway improvement projects are underway to address these capacity issues. Holly Springs also benefits from Wake County Public Schools, which is the largest school system in North Carolina, plus expanding healthcare campus investments that create additional employment opportunities and community amenities. What makes Holly Springs the premium choice is very simple. You're paying more upfront, but you're getting established amenities, proven community quality, and also the kind of infrastructure that sustains long-term property values. But we're not over yet. I have another up-and-coming place to tell you guys about. It might just be the perfect choice for you. The last one was more premium. This booming Raleigh town is definitely more affordable. Ander is what I call the smart entry point into these booming Raleigh markets. Ander, North Carolina is known as the town of crepe myrtles because of a beautification project started by the Ander Women's Club in the 1930s. Members planted crepe myrtle trees along main streets and in public areas to make the growing railroad town more visually appealing. There's even an annual crepe myrtle festival to celebrate this beautiful tree. But Ander is tiny with just 8,000 residents, and it's actually experiencing a 6.7% growth. So what makes this opportunity so compelling? The median home value goes from around $240,000 to $340,000, making Ander among the most accessible markets in the entire region. Also, Ander is 21 miles from Raleigh with a 30-minute drive, and those NC 55 bypass and NC 540 expansion projects I mentioned are expected to dramatically improve overall regional connectivity in this location. However, limited public transit requires transfers through Wake Tech Community College, but again, that's part of what keeps this market so affordable. The infrastructure growth happening in Ander is driving everything. The bypass and expansion projects I just mentioned are bringing new subdivisions and retail development in the future. When major highway improvements come come to a small town, property values follow. It's basically that simple. What makes Andrew a good choice for an entry point is the small town charm combined with a strategic location. The downtown area has been revitalized with boutiques and local eateries, creating that authentic community feel. You do get picturesque streets and a slower pace of life, but all while maintaining a strong commuter appeal to Raleigh. For recreation, Jack Marley Park provides picnic areas, playgrounds, and walking paths. The town features the unique Gord Museum, Centennial Trail, and historic downtown murals that give Andrew genuine character. Heads up, Andrew is still developing and can feel more rural to some, so just keep that in mind when you're considering a move here. But here's why Andrew is a smart entry point. You're getting into a market with real population growth, major infrastructure improvements in progress, and a possibility to find homes for around $240,000. This is how you build wealth in real estate. You find areas with strong fundamentals, growth drivers, and accessible entry prices, and then you benefit from the appreciation that follows. The Triangle's explosive growth story is happening right now in these 6 markets, and the opportunity window for strategic buyers and investors is wide open. The data is clear, the trends are established, and the opportunities are available right now. So don't sit on this. Email me at hello@davisonmaine.com today, and don't worry, I handle every aspect of the buying process so busy people like you can focus on what matters the most. I'll help you get into the market before everyone else figures it out, and if you want to see which Triangle areas give you the absolute best value near Duke, UNC, and NC State, check out my next video. You'll discover the hidden gems that smart buyers are choosing over the obvious picks. I'll see you guys in the next one.